Well, folks, I'm going to tell you like this. Here's the situation. The government has decided that since the boomers are all that really matters in the world, they're going to destroy our entire civilization and society for them. Sorry, folks. It's over with. Shut it down. I hope you got guns and ammo. I hope you got extra food. Hope you bought rice. Hope you got gasoline. Hope you got a generator. I hope you're all right. And if you're not, at minimum, get some guns and ammo and some knives, because you may need them here soon. And with the advent of the coronavirus, they have decided that, we're just going to shut the whole thing down. We're helicopter dropping, probably like Mitt Romney's calling for $2,000 a month for everybody, which would, in 2 months' time, basically double the amount of cash in the U.S. money supply, which is positive for everybody involved. Because what we need is hyperinflation. That's, as an accelerationist, I feel as though it's important. According to some out there like Excel and Turfling and Monkey, this is a giant nothing burger. Look, of course the boomers feel as though this is a nothing burger. It's serving them. It is what it is. I'm not calling them two boomers, but, Anyway, man, look, this is from yesterday. Cities worry about the homeless population as coronavirus surges, right? Check this out. Y'all are going to love this. People who are homeless face a huge risk of exposure to the coronavirus sweeping the nation, and city officials worry that their homeless populations could become vectors from which the virus spreads even more broadly than it has already. The number of people experiencing homelessness across the country has grown in recent years after falling to the wake of the recession, as housing stocks diminish and prices rise in many cities like Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Washington. Entire homeless camps have sprouted. All right, so since before we knew we had a case, it was when our short list of concerns, said Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan. It remains a very big concern for the cities of Seattle, both from public health and standpoint, as well as just the ability to deliver basic services. About 568,000 Americans are experiencing homelessness, according to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which conducts its own point-in-time census. California has the nation's largest homeless population, with more than 150,000, while 92,000 people live in New York, do not have a home. More than 20,000 people are homeless in Texas, Florida, and Washington, the HUD report found. Okay, so with that being said, what are they actually doing, right? So let's see here. The best and most effective thing to do is to find places for people to live, creating housing. There are some shorter, faster ways to do that. Somebody said, Fosk around this said, cities like Miami, Baltimore, New Orleans, and Nashville have suspended evictions during the outbreak to ensure more families do not become homeless. Beautiful. Fucking beautiful. The last thing we want is for people to be displaced from their homes or to suddenly have their power and lights shut off. Groups that serve the homeless say they are taking extra precautions to prevent the virus from sweeping through dormitory-style shelters at Central Urban Union Mission, the oldest social services organization in D.C. Residents in our men's shelters had their temperatures checked as they walked in the front door. If their temperature is too high, they are sent to a medical facility for treatment. There is no such thing as isolating someone in a homeless shelter. Once it gets in, it can spread very rapidly. We are still fully open for business. We're still sheltering the homeless and feeding the hungry, but we're taking all reasonable steps to keep it out of the building. As Americans rush to the grocery stores to stock up on supplies, shelves are going empty. We need to continue to be able to feed the shelter folks here. We have a pretty big dependence for donated food from grocery stores and Costco. We've already seen a decrease in these donations. So, as we've been saying, you no longer have to pay your rent, and, you no longer have to pay your mortgage in a bunch of these cities, right? Here's a new one. This is amazing. This is like the best thing I've ever said, right? Gavin Newsom, the California governor, yesterday gave a press conference, and then they put out this here It's kind of like a question and answer thing. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? Like everybody kind of had questions, right? Logan, he said, here are things, what's going on about the announcements. All right, California is getting grayer. Newsom said as his self-isolation guidance would apply to the approximately 5.3 million seniors aged 65 or older who live in the state. However, according to 2019 census number, that number may be closer to 5.7 million. And it's not just the elderly who are most at risk that they don't stay home. So are people with underlying chronic health conditions. That means people with heart, kidney, and respiratory diseases, as well as diabetes. This includes asthmatics, as well as a lot of people. In California, about 1 in 3 adults, more than 8 million people live with cardiovascular disease, including high blood pressure, artery and valve diseases, strokes, and heart failure, according to the 2016 state data. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Why did the initial directive apply to the elderly? We're prioritizing their safety because of their unique vulnerabilities of this virus, Newsom said. Health officials say that older adults, as well as people with compromised immune systems and those with underlying chronic medical conditions, seem to be at higher risk. Out of California's 335 positive cases as of Sunday, 116 people were among the ages 65 or older. Yeah, it's something like 15%, you know what I mean, once you get to people, you know what I mean, who are older and shit. All right, so what does it mean, self-isolation mean anyway? Can people go to the grocery store? It means people staying home from work and other public places as much as possible. That doesn't mean that within your own social set, your own family, you can't have a barbecue. It doesn't mean you can't have a walk and use common sense in terms of getting your essential needs met with that walk, walking with attention to get food, get medicine, do all the things you need to do, Newsom said on Tuesday. Right. All right. So if seniors and people with chronic illnesses can't go to the grocery store, how are they going to eat? Good question. Right. He said, we've been working for days to answer this question, but he did not provide specific. Newsom did allure the strike teams that will support the social safety net. Here's the truth. They told everybody to stay home and they don't know how they're going to feed them. Yo, they don't know how they're going to feed them. Yo, this is great. Oh, this is the best stuff, right? He said, what if you're homeless and you're also a senior and have a health condition? The governor's directives was short on details for those who are seeking to self-isolate while they're unhoused. Newsom said the state would prioritize getting homeless people indoors as soon as possible, either in a hotel or motel rooms in one of the state's 450 newly purchased trailers with an executive issue ordered Thursday. Newsom directed State Health Agency and its Office of Emergency Services to be prepared to make available accommodations suitable use as a temporary residence and the commandeer these sites if necessary. So they're snatching hotels and motels now to put homeless people in California. This is amazing. This is the greatest shit ever, right? This is the best stuff I've ever heard in the history of mankind. Legit. Right? He said more than 1 million seniors. He said, what about seniors who work but can't work from home? Is this state going to help? More than 1 million seniors, about 19% of Californians aged 65 or older, are in the labor force, according to 2018 census data. Many continue to work because they don't have enough retirement savings or Social Security to cover expenses. This is spectacular. For example, he said for seniors who can't take their work home, for example, those who work in retail, the service industry, or manufacturing, or as drivers, self-isolation could meaning losing wages or even jobs. Newsom made it clear that seniors working in the medical front lines of the coronavirus response, such as nurses, doctors, and pharmacists, are not exempt from the directive to self-isolate. A 70-year-old emergency room doctor in New Jersey contracted the virus and now is in intensive care. He led the hospital's emergency preparedness. The governor's office did not immediately respond to questions about whether or not the state would provide financial aid to low-income seniors who are forced to miss work. On Thursday, Newsom signed an executive order waiving the 1-week wait time for those seeking unemployment insurance or disability benefits due to COVID-19. This is amazing. On Saturday, U.S. House of Representatives passed a legislative package that will provide emergency leave, including 2 weeks of paid sick leave and up to 3 months of paid family and medical leave. Right? The Senate will consider the package earlier this week. This is amazing. Cal Matters opened the door to your questions, and boy, how do you have questions? Right? Let's see here. I have a couple questions. One, some articles say it's self-isolating. We need to stay indoors. I don't understand why being outdoors is good for us. I need to walk my 3 dogs, and the walk is good for me. I don't need to go near anyone. I love the garden. At least that's one thing I can do. This is where we're not Italy, Spain, or China. Italy and Spain have gone into full lockdown with the Spanish military on the streets to enforce the mandatory stay-home order. That's what a true lockdown looks like. In the U.S., Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, said he would like to see a 14-day lockdown, but nothing has yet been proposed. As I said, all right, the boomers ruined this country. And as they go out, they're going to take it out with them. Sorry, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, legit. This is why I'm short in the market. This is why I bought silver. This is why I buy guns and ammunition. I hope y'all have listened. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all going down. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, this... But, you know... Hey, look, maybe you believe some of these other cats and say it's a nothing burger. They're helicopter dropping money into the economy at this point. I don't know what to tell you. We're going to have hyperinflation. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for the upside of this. You know what I mean? It's going to be like one of the best booms I've ever experienced. I'm going to make so much fucking money. It's unbelievable. I hope y'all do too. You know what I mean? Be prepared for the worst. Hope for the best. Is what it is. It's Tom Pease of Pnoid News. Y'all know the situation. Peace be like one, motherfuckers. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace. Shit.